Okay, so we're running Brave for the first time, and I'm asked if I want to set Brave as the default browser. I think I will do. I'm not sure if I'm clicking on links from other applications in this episode, but just in case I do, this is going to make it easier. Then I'm asked if I want to import any settings from Google Chrome. So if I wanted to, I just need to click and then click import. I'm not going to though. I'm going to skip this. And then do we want to help contribute to Brave search by sharing completely anonymous search signals to help Brave grow its own search index? You can always opt into this later, but I think I'll help. And then the final window here covers whether we want to send diagnostic reports and share private and anonymous product insights. I'm okay with these. I'm just going to click finish. And then once that's done, you'll see that we're now in Brave. So one thing I'm not going to be doing in this video is going through the basics of how to use a browser. As most browsers nowadays use things like profiles, for example, I'm not going to be covering that. I'm going to try to just cover the things that Brave does that aren't available on every single other browser out there. Maybe some, but certainly not all. So here on the home page in the bottom left, we've got some stats that are going to build up over the course of the video as trackers are blocked and as we use bandwidth. In the center, we can turn on Brave News, which we'll be doing towards the back end of the video, as well as enabling the VPN, which you can see in the bottom right there. Now, most of the standard shortcuts work in Brave. So Command and L, for example, will take you to the address bar. I could type @history to search my browsing history, but we don't have any yet. So I'm going to go to a website that we know can have a few ads at times. So 9to5mac.com. And as it opens, you can see that Brave Shields have already blocked 7 trackers on this site. No configuration needed. It's done it for us. So if I come up and click on the shield here, you'll see that we've got some stuff to play with. So first of all, at the top, we've got the name of the site, and we can see that the shields are up for this site, meaning we're blocking ads and trackers. And down here, we can see exactly how many trackers, ads, and more have been blocked. And if I just click away and then scroll down here, you can see there's no ads or anything in sight there. It's very nice. It's very easy to read. Whereas if I come up and click on the shield again, and I'm going to flick the toggle to put the shields down, it's a very different experience when we take a look. So first of all, we have the consent window that we're used to seeing. And as soon as I click to give my consent, I'll start to come down. And here we can see our first ad there. There's another one just below. And I have no issue at all with sites using ads. They have to have an income. I absolutely 100% get it. And I don't turn shields off for all sites at all. I want them to have money coming in, as long as it means that I can read the site effectively. Now, if I put the shields back up again, you can see the difference there with them all gone. Now let's click on the shield again and come down and look at some of the advanced options. So whilst it works out of the box, we can configure it further. So any settings that we configure here are for this particular site. It's not going to affect any others. So underneath this drop down for blocking trackers and ads, we can see that we can be more aggressive in our approach. We can do a standard block, or conversely, we can allow all of them. Then if I click on this arrow here, you actually get a list of everything that has been blocked. And I mentioned in the intro that by default, all connections are upgraded to HTTPS. Now you can click here and then tell Brave with this site to only ever connect with HTTPS, or not to bother upgrading an unsecure connection at all. Now the execution of scripts on pages isn't blocked by default, but there is a toggle here for you to enable that. Whereas blocking fingerprinting, well, that is enabled out of the box. It's a default setting for all sites. There's a drop down to allow you to choose which cookies are blocked. Is it going to be third-party cookies, all of them, no matter where they're from, or are you going to allow them all? Then there's also a toggle here to forget all of your information as soon as the site is closed. So that's going to clear cookies and any other site data that Brave has stored for that specific site the moment you close it. Then at the bottom here, there's a filter list button, which we'll check out shortly. And then if you want to go to the global settings, so settings that aren't just for this site, but for all sites as a whole, you can click here. Now these are the defaults that are going to apply to all websites. For example, I like to see the number of blocked items on that Shields icon. You can, however, turn that off if you want. And just like for the individual site settings, you can change the aggressiveness of the trackers and the ad blocking, as well as the default for the HTTPS connections here. So as I just come down here, you'll remember all of these from when we checked the Shields icon on 9 to 5 Mac. But one feature that wasn't there is available here, and it centers on element blocking. So this toggle here allows you to block elements within private windows. But what does the phrase block elements even mean? Well, here I am back on 9 to 5 Mac, and if I just right click anywhere on this page, within this context menu, I'm going to select block elements. And this is a bit like a point and click tool that just allows you to remove specific elements from the page. It's really useful for any ads or content that for whatever reason may be left behind. Or if you just want to really streamline the look of the page. As I move my mouse, you can see the elements get highlighted. And if I click one, I can come down and click on block elements here. And we can see it's been magically removed. Maybe for some reason, I don't want this up here helping me navigate. Well, I can simply select block elements here, select it, and then come down and click. And we can see it's gone. Now it can be quite an intelligent tool as well. So if I hover over this name here and select it, you'll see there's actually a slider. Right now it's being very strict and it's just doing this one instance. Whereas if I slide this all the way to the left, it finds all instances of that name and the avatar there. It doesn't detect other names like Ryan's here, for example. Those bits would remain, but if I click block elements, we can see those ones are removed. And then if you want to bring them back, it really is as simple as clicking on the Shields icon, then coming down to the bottom here and selecting clear all blocked elements. And all those that were removed have now reappeared. Okay, back into our Shields settings. And if I come down here to content filtering, we've got filter lists, and these are like the actual ingredient lists behind the ad and tracker blocking. It tells Brave what to block. You can add additional lists in here. So if you want this dedicated annoying distractions blocker list, then just check it. And all those newsletter pop-ups that can annoy you when you're just in the middle of reading something, well, checking this is going to help eradicate that. You'll see we've got quite a lot here that are YouTube specific. So if you don't want to have YouTube's thumbnail images appearing, then you can block them. And then as we come down, you can see we've got lots of locale and language specific ones. Then if I just come back, you'll see at the bottom here, there are 3 default options for the blocking of social media. So you can allow Facebook logins and embedded posts, as well as X, formerly known as Twitter, of course. However, the LinkedIn ones here, they're turned off. Okay, before we take a look at searching and using AI with Brave, we're just going to cover off some of the core privacy and security settings in here. So when it comes to deleting your browsing data, like most browsers, you can do this manually. It's quite an easy little interface here. You can check or uncheck what you'd like to have deleted, and it will do the last hour's worth by default. But you can change it to the last 15 minutes, the last 24 hours, or if you click on more, you can have the last 7 days, last 4 weeks, or everything. You can see the default options that are set are to delete the browsing history, your cookies, any cached images, and your download history, but you can also check any of these items here. Alternatively, you can click on clear data on exit. And as we learned earlier, as soon as you close Brave, anything that's checked here is going to be cleared down. Now I'll go back in privacy and security. If we come down to site and Shield settings, if I click on Shield status, remember I said that there are some sites where I absolutely don't mind them having ads as long as I can read the content okay. But what you can do is by default, you can configure sites to have either the shields up or the shields down. So let's come over to 9 to 5 Mac here just to see how it currently is. And we can see right now the shields are indeed up. And if I come back into settings, I'm going to click add next to shields down here. Type in the name of the site. And this means that if I come back to the site here, like most browsers, I can use Command and 1 because it's the first tab in the list. I'm just going to refresh the page. And we can see that the shield is indeed down now. So as long as I'm happy seeing the ads and having those trackers there, they shall be there. If I change my mind and decide no, I'd actually quite like the shields to always be up by default on this site, then I'll come back into settings and I can click on these 3 dots here. And you can see in here, I can edit the name of the domain that I've typed. I could remove it completely, or if I want to move it just down to the shields up section, I can select that. Now there are lots of privacy and security settings here. However, the last one I want to show you is this local history retention. Because I said on the slides at the beginning, you can determine how long Brave will store your browsing history locally for. The default is 3 months, but you can change this to as short as a day or as long as forever. It's entirely up to you.